President Maithripala Sirisena pledged to let go of executive powers even before the presidential election. Let's take a look back at the president's journey towards the passage of the 19th Amendment, fulfilling the promise. Initiating a revolution in Sri Lankan politics, Maithripala Sirisena, one of the senior-most ministers in the UPFA government and General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, entered the presidential race as the common candidate. At the first media briefing convened in Colombo as the common candidate, he made a pledge to the nation.
I request the beloved people of this country to entrust the power to me, to abolish the executive presidency which has destroyed fairness, justice, law, ethics, democracy and freedom within 100 days.
On the campaign stage too, Maithripala Sirisena reiterated the promise to abolish the limitless powers of the executive presidency.
I must state to you clearly that I will work towards abolishing the executive presidential system within 100 days without even stepping foot inside the president's house.
Presidential candidate Maithripala Sirisena unveiled his election manifesto including this promise. Securing the support of Parliament to abolish the executive presidential system and establishing an executive that is accountable to Parliament via the Cabinet of Ministers, creating a new government structure was a primary factor of this manifesto. In the manifesto, he pledged to enact amendments to the Constitution that can be passed without a referendum. Maithripala Sirisena received 6,217,162 votes and was elected President of Sri Lanka with a majority of 449,072 votes. In his initial address at Independence Square after taking oaths as the 6th Executive President of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, Maithripala Sirisena reiterated that he would fulfill the promise made to the people.
We will ensure, as mentioned in our policy manifesto, that we will implement the much required social, economic and political transformation in the country in a span of 100 days. It also must be noted that just as the people of this country elected me into this position, I need to state that I do not hope to contest for another term. We will take the responsibility to assure the people of this country that freedom, democracy and rule of law be established for the sake of the people today and the children of tomorrow.
Fulfilling the promise made to the people, the draft of the 19th Amendment to the Constitution was placed before public representatives. When the bill was perused by the Supreme Court, it was determined the clauses which confer powers of the executive president on the Prime Minister must be adopted with a referendum. Respecting the determination of the Supreme Court, the President introduced provisions in the 19th Amendment which would curtail powers of the Executive President which do not require a referendum. Although leaders have pledged on several prior occasions to let go of powers vested in the Executive Presidency upon being elected to power, they had shown a lack of enthusiasm towards fulfilling the promise. Although the 13th and 17th Amendments did curtail executive powers somewhat, the most significant change have been made through the 19th Amendment. Among leaders who attempt at every turn to consolidate their power and protect their position, doesn't President Maithripala Sirisena stand out because of his steadfast resolve to sacrifice both power and position for the people?